So I ended up getting this Xbox One X for about $200. And the problem is, it doesn't sync. Nothing happens when you press the button, but if I connect a controller to this, it works, but if I remove the controller from it, it won't sync up as normal. Alright, so I could connect it on my controller. There you go, works as normal. It goes up, down, left, right, blah, blah, blah. Now, as soon as you unplug the cable, come on, there you go. Nothing, nada. Because what would normally happen is that the controller would sync with the Xbox One. Like currently right now, it's actually synced to my computer. So anyway, what would normally happen is the controller would sync up with the Xbox One X through a USB cable. And once the USB cable is unplugged, it remembers the controller. And it essentially enables wireless connection between the two. So I'm assuming that something's wrong with the actual sync mechanism, the
wireless receiver.
Because if it was working, this button will work. I don't think it's the button because I've taken it apart before and I found that a couple of capacitors were missing close to the actual RF, the wireless controller section bit. Okay, so I bought the entire replacement part.
Now what I saw when I compared the new board with the original board is that with this picture, as you can see on the top, the new board has those capacitors and fuse. However, on the original board, the old board, you could see that those components are missing. So I'm going to assume that is the reason why syncing is not working on this board, because there's nothing to trigger the RF module, or that the wireless module, the RF, is actually not even being powered. It's not actually working. Because I believe that I will still be able to wirelessly sync with the Xbox One X via the USB cable method, where I would connect with the Xbox One X with a controller via USB cable, which then I would disconnect that said cable, which should result in a well-established wireless connection between the controller and the Xbox One X.
Now, you're wondering, why didn't I get the components for, just the components and not buy the complete board? It's because I don't know the value of the capacitors and I couldn't find any information about it. And I don't know much about fuses, especially SMD related fuses. So I just bought the entire replacement board. A part cost me about 4.9 British pounds. However, postage and import charges brought it all the way up the total to 22 pounds 80 pence. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is replace this bit, this entire, RF power on Wi-Fi sync board,
and see if this fixes the Xbox's problem.
I believe it was open before because the sticker's a bit flicked out. I also believe that this console was probably dropped, that's why the capacitors are missing. And other than that, there's nothing really wrong with it. I ended up dropping about 190 on it. And the replacement part cost me about $43.72 Australian. And majority of that cost is actually due to the postage and the import charges. So what I'm going to do, it's a quick easy job. I have to take the top cover off, and basically it's just two screws. Pull this out, two more additional screws here and here, and then you can pop it off and swap it over. I'm planning on keeping the original board, because maybe down the line I might end up fixing it and then I could just sell it off, make my money back. However, right now I'm missing information about it because I'm not really sure about the capacitor values of the missing capacitors and the fuse values as well. I don't have a fancy iFixit kit, so I'm using a screwdriver set I bought online from eBay for about $5, straight from China. I've had this for about 10 years now. I bought it as a teenager. The two screws are Torx, but I forgot what size they are. But I will find out one day. Oh, found it. crap on it. I need to clean this. Now, as you can see, the capacitor is missing here, here, oh, here. Oh, it'd be better if I use a screwdriver. Anyway, capacitors are missing from here, as you can see, and also here. And I believe this is a fuse right here. I don't know the values of the capacitors and the fuses, and I'll be definitely winging it if I actually do replace it with something else, but I don't want to risk it. Now for safety, I'm going to open this up. Now I have long fingernails, so that's what I use, but you can use like a pry bar or a flathead screwdriver that's wide enough, because if you do it from one side, it might snap the board in half, not the board, the clip in half, and then you'll struggle snapping the cable in place and cause all sorts of issues, and then you have to go on eBay, because that cable is actually part of the eject button that's next to the infrared port. That's a Torx, but I believe it's a smaller Torx. For about what, $240 total, 244 bucks, not even 230 bucks total for an Xbox One X. Now, the funny thing is, the only reason I bought the Xbox One X is because I got a bunch of 4K Blu-rays and no 4K Blu-ray player. So I'm like, this was literally the cheapest thing I could get. I wasn't even planning on replacing this board, but it ended up annoying me. Matches exactly. Found it. Matches exactly. Currently it's like 1:18 a.m. while I'm doing this. And it should pop off now. Is the cable out? I can't see. It'll pop out when I pull this up. Alright. The port's roughly here, so you jiggle it out. Good. Now that's out. Now this cable should pop out. There you go. Now, see you later. Here's your new one. Oh, looks like I don't need to undo the bottom. That's good. There you go. Plug that in. Oh, hold on. I need to check see if I'm plugging in the right port. Yeah. There you go. It's kind of bent weird, isn't it? There's only one port here. The rest is just board. Now let's do this back up. I really hope it didn't get damaged during shipping. Here. There you go. Everything looks fine. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I am going to keep this with me. There you go. Alright, just gonna do a bit of a clean. Not bad. $230 total. And if it works, it would have been worth it. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna cry so hard.
So let's test this thing out.
So, moment of truth. Let's see if it turns on. Good, it turns on. Come on. The clicking here is me trying to switch my... Oh, there you go. The clicking was me trying to switch my HDMI switch. Alright, so far so good. It's in 4K. Excellent. Yes, it is an Xbox One. Alright, good. Everything works. There you go. Now, moment of truth. I'm not going to press the sync button. What I'm going to do is plug in my controller. If I find it. Here it is. I'm going to plug in my controller via USB and see if it syncs. And should work. Yep. That's normal. Alright, now if I unplug this, it should continue working. Blink, blink. Sync.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. It works like normal. Look at that.
$237 total. Got to work in Xbox One X. I think at EB Games, the Australian version of GameStop, has it about for 400 and something bucks. Got less than half, I think.
Alright, let's do some testing with Forza Horizon 4. There you go. Yep, it works fine. Make a left. Ah, no. So yeah, it works. Left, right, down, back. I can turn left, I can make a right. And there you go. Nothing else I need to do to prove that it works.
The sync button now works.
There you have it. An Xbox One X that I got for $190 Australian and only cost me about $35 again Australian to repair. I have obviously saved a significant amount of money to get my hands on this console. I would have been able to save a lot more money if I knew what the missing capacitors values were and the fuses. I did check everywhere online, but I couldn't find any information regarding their values. Thanks for watching, check out my other videos, like and subscribe, keep on living, and see you guys later. Bye!